Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I'm going to spend a little bit of time today on doing some rocks fixes that I've been kind of languishing on, and also some that C#8 actually found. These aren't related to nullable issues. I'm going to handle that. As you saw, I did like two free code sessions on some things that I found before. Those I'm not going to do right now. I'll do that in a separate set of videos, but these are ones that kind of came up in C#8 that have to do with, oh, this method is not being used or not being called, but C#7 couldn't find that. So I'm going to handle some of those. And then there was one also that has to deal with having a custom exception instead of throwing not implement exception, which sounds simple, but I bet that's going to break stuff. So we're just going to do that here. So I'm going to come into here. And let's say I'm going to make a new branch. And we're going to call it one new. I wish it like said, hey, do it as snake case. Maybe there is a way to do that in. We don't need that because that's there. Okay, so create branch. And these are all going to go into what I'm going to call a 4.0 release, which is not going to happen until I get rocks updated for C#8. So I made a 4.0.0 milestone, and all of these will go into that milestone. And once I'm good with that, I might do a couple of other things around there. Then I'll push a 4.0. Okay, so let's look at the first one. So this is persistence builder get method identifier. This was actually determined to be not used. Gone. And we are in release. No, let's go to release. There we go. Build it, and then we'll run our tests to make sure that that's good. Okay. Run all our tests. See how this goes. And again, tests I think in this take about 20 seconds to run. One other thing I found, I think I put in an issue for this in Rocks. Check to make sure, but apparently there's an article that showed how you can use tasks both in .NET Core and .NET Framework. So I was about to dump the tasks project, but I guess there's actually a way so you can make it so it works everywhere. So eventually I'll get to that too. Okay, they all pass. Good, 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 good. So we're going to say removes unused method in persistence builder. Push. Okay, so that one is done. What I'm doing over here is I'm just updating the original comments so I know what I've done. Let's do this one, okay? This one might be a little bit trickier. How do I want to do this? So this tuple type was used in a couple of places. And we're now in C#7 whatever. So this really isn't necessary. The thing, though, that this might do is, I guess I should have looked to see if it was smart enough to go who called it. Okay, so that, well, that doesn't change because the names here don't change. This is a read-only dictionary. Did you ever look at something? Oh, okay, because... Oh, read-only dictionary doesn't have a... I guess so, because it's read-only, so you have to set it on the constructor. Okay, that just threw me for a second. Okay, so this is... what actually are we passing out of that? That is... That's basically a name and an expectation. So we're going to kind of keep that around. And then we'll say here, name expectation. Okay. Where else was this called? Set our expectations. And see, this is also something that C#8 found and said that you're calling this, but you're not using it. And so what I need to do is hit this to do this result isn't actually being used. Who's actually calling this? So nobody's actually calling that. Maybe I can just get rid of this. Okay, so... Where did I come from? This. We'll come back to that. Okay. Let's make sure this is actually being called by something. What? No. That it is. Okay. So this is, yeah, now we can change that to that. Have a little bit cleaner syntax. Name. Expectation. Boom, done. Okay, so then we do that. We come back to this, and we can let's see if this builds first. It does. Let's do that. Does that build? It does. Let's run all the tests. See, do they all pass? Again, just because I'm running my tests doesn't necessarily mean I broke something. I didn't break something, because there may not have been tests around whatever I removed or just changed. So, and good. That was actually a little. I was a little bit worried that I was using the tuple type in more than one spot. Let's just make sure that tuple is completely gone. And I'm looking, okay, cool. Alrighty. That is good. That's done. Small cleanup. These are all small, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to say edit, done, update comment. And some people might not like that I'm updating the comment, but that's okay. All right, in-memory name generator. So we're going to go to close all that out, close that out, find results. Come on, why are you not going away? Go away. No, not that. In-memory name generator. This is a small one. This should actually be a const. And I guess we can get rid of that too. Of course, we got to say what the type is. That doesn't go away. All right. So, build, run all tests. I really don't see why this would break anything. That was a lot quicker than I expected. Really? God, I hate that one. I'm seriously starting to think of getting to the command line to handle everything. Basically just say test, which will build and run all tests, and using this. And only come back in here. I don't... Does Visual Studio have a terminal window? Not sure. That'd be really nice, because I know VS Code has that, and I use that. Especially when I was doing like TypeScript stuff and I want to demo things, I just go in the terminal and launch it in Node, and that worked really well. Yeah, they should really have something like that for Visual Studio. Anyway, okay, so that was simple. I would have actually been kind of surprised. Made a read-only a const. Push. Okay, come over here and now say edit. Done. This one will be fun. What? What? Come on. Oh, give me a break. You are so full of it. You gotta be kidding me. Property templates. Why would it not find... What? This is not making it... Well, you gotta go back. This isn't making any sense. And the reason I say that is because property templates, when I did this in my VM, there was definitely something called list, span like. Yeah, public static string get property get for, or did I just not have the right text there? Give property name get for span like. Aha. Aha. It helps if you spell things right. It helps. Okay. So actually, if I say this, there we go. Okay. There we go. So the thing here is that return type parameter can actually be removed because it's not even used in the method. So there's no reason to pass it in. Okay, what does that break? You don't need to pass this in. Run all tests and wait for the key combination, which is bound to a command. Dear Lord, seriously? Come on. I'm going to the MVP Summit. I'm flying out Sunday. If I get a hold of somebody in the testing, I'm going to be like, can you just stop doing that? I mean, how is this not there yet in 2019? I mean, that's again where I'm saying I think, especially since I'm moving so much stuff to .NET Standard and .NET Core, I like the editor just because I'm used to it with Visual Studio. It's just something I'm used to, and it's fine. But I'm starting to go, this Test Explorer tool and this thing and that, I really just don't really need it. So, removed parameter from property for span like. All right, that's done. Edit. Done. New property get for make. Well, that was spelled right. Is there any reason to do default of return type? Can't C# infer the type. If so, return type parameter can be removed. I think that's saying somewhere down in here. And I'm just grabbing this because I know this is going to come up in a second. So hold on to that. Okay, that's a test. No, I don't want a test. No, I don't want that either. Over here. No. Dear Lord. Come over here. That's... Yeah, the get. Okay. Yeah, it's saying, can't I just have a property? Like if I said public, and these are going to have to be static, public static int some value. Okay, that doesn't work. Use expression bodies for properties. So that would, right, so what I'm saying is I don't need to do this. I mean, that's redundant now. And I can just do that. Now, if I had, like, I think what this is saying is if I'm doing a get, and I'm currently saying default event, well, what's the problem here? Oh, I'm sorry, I also have to have like a set here, which does nothing. Okay, now this is saying that's not needed. Although, why does it have a little... Okay, I am obviously a moron. Private static int v. So I can say here, that's right, because if you're doing expression body membered, you don't have that. You have to, yeesh. V equals value. There we go. And now it's saying simplify it. Yay! And block body for the, yeah, okay, but we don't need that. So the point is all that crap was just to say, you really don't need to say default to the return type. You should be able to say just default. And if you just say default, then there's no reason for a return type. Okay. So, what does that break? I shouldn't have to do that. What else broke? You're just passing an A, and that should now just be equal to default. Build. Run. This one might be a little trickier because there's no way that they're running. There's no way. Yeah, you're not even running. I think that happened before and that threw me. We'll see if any of these fail. I wouldn't be too surprised if one or two failed. Alrighty. Alrighty. That is done. Alright. We're almost at the end of this list. Done. And then type the sector mapping. Type the sector. This mapping property should have been public static read only. That should not break anything. Should not being the operative word. Okay, cool. All right, so those are the ones that I wanted to do in this small little branch. Okay. So these are all done. Yay. Okay, cool. So now we'll push this in. And what I really need also, and I don't know if I have an issue for this, but I need to set up like Azure pipelines or something on this to automate builds, push to NuGet, all that stuff. Just make that happen. Because I don't have that right now. I do it all manually. That's pretty stupid. But it is what it is. Okay, so what we need to do is merge into current branch. We need to merge this in the current branch. Okay, summary. There we go. Commit to master. Oh, well, whatever. Push it. Boom. Boom, boom. Did I take the name? No, it didn't. That's okay. That is alright, because if I refresh this, you should start seeing, yay, those are gone. That's master. Yay. Okay, so we can come back here. I still wish they had a right click and just delete. Okay, cool, so that's that one. This next one, though, will be a little bit harder. We can close this. And we can come over here. This one's going to be a little bit more tricky. I don't know if I can get this done in 10 minutes, but I guess we could try. This is basically where this is why I copied this piece of code over here. Because this is really not that helpful at all. Okay. So let me show you. If I do EFI, it's a lot of places. It's basically saying if you didn't, if you didn't find a match. Now this is actually interesting though, now that I'm looking at it. So I'm almost positive right now. I'm not going to be able to finish this right now. I may have to do another episode later today or something like that. But this is kind of saying if you couldn't even find a handler for this, for this method. So, okay. Yeah, that now I get that. So it throws an expectation exception if it found handlers for that method, but it doesn't find a specific handler for the case that you have been given, which makes sense. So if it doesn't even find a handler, though, what I get is a non-implemented exception, which is technically not true because you just may not have set up an expectation at all for that method, but to throw a not-implemented exception is actually incorrect. So, yeah, let's go back here and try to find another one of those. So like here, yeah, same thing. I think what I should be doing is instead of doing an else there, if you get down there, you just throw an expectation exception. So I already have something like this, which is you're calling something with a method under test, and there are no expectations for it. Now that I think about this, though, I got to be a little bit careful. Okay, I wonder what, I don't remember what I do in this case. This is funny because I would sometimes say to people that have been maintaining libraries for a very long time and going, well, how does this work? And they're like, I don't know. And I say, you're the one that maintains all this. How do you not remember? Well, here's a case. I don't remember what I did. What I mean by this is I don't remember what I did if you have a virtual method. It's not from an interface. It's just from a class that isn't sealed. So what do I do in that case? I don't remember. That would take more analysis. I have I have to look back and say, well, in that case, you could just call it. Because if you didn't set up any expectations on it, that basically meant it's a valid method for somebody to call, and you didn't care if they actually called it or not. And it becomes really weird if you say, that you force the person making the mock, in my opinion, to say, I'm setting up an expectation for them to call this method, and the way it's really handled is that it just calls the base method. I wonder if what happens is what I do is if you don't set up any expectations for it, it just doesn't override it. Or it says if you set up any expectations for it, then that means that you have to call it exactly the way you want it to. And then you have to decide whether to call the base type or not. I don't know. I really don't know what I do in those cases. So this is not as simple as just saying throw non-implement exception, because I want to dig in a little bit and go, what do I do in the cases where it wasn't an abstract method? It was actually a method that was implemented. It was still virtual though, so you could override it. What do you do in that case? And I know there's a part of my brain going, I know somewhere I decided what to do. I just don't remember what I thought was the right thing to do, and what I might be saying now may not be true. So I think I'm going to put over here, in most cases, it's the expected expectation exception. Expectation exception should be used instead of not implement exception. However, what does Rocks do if it encounters a virtual method that is already implemented? Doesn't matter if the developer sets up expectations for that method or not. If they do, then there is no expectation for that method. So they just call the base class. Needs further investigation, because I don't remember. Okay, so I think at the end of the day I can look at this code and say, like in this case, it just falls down to here, and actually, because there's a return in here, and if it didn't go through, it would eventually come to this. I can simplify this code a little bit and just push this down and get, like, basically get rid of that. And pull this up and basically pull that down here. Something like this too. I bet I can do the same thing. I think in most of these cases, there was like one that, when I said find results, was it the first one I clicked on maybe? No. Yeah, it basically says if you found a match. This one I think I would just then throw that. So, because there was no handlers. But anyway, okay. So, what am I going to do now, because I'm near the end of the time on this episode, I will probably try to do another one later and follow that up with just trying to clean that up a little bit and also figuring out what happens in the case that I just mentioned. So that will be it for now, and I will stop doing any work on this. We'll figure this out later. So thanks for watching. Leave any comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.